Okay, so when you think of recycling powerhouses, Taiwan might not be the first place that pops into your head. But get this, they have one of the best systems on the entire planet, a true global leader. But, and this is a big but, behind all that success, there are some pretty surprising and maybe even controversial secrets. So what's really going on? Let's dig in and find out.
Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to rewind the clock. Let's go back to the 90s. And honestly, it was not a pretty picture. We're talking about a country literally swamped with trash. It got so bad they were called a poster child for plastic pollution. That is not a title you want. It was a massive environmental problem.
And yet, here we are today, and it's one of the top-ranked places in Asia for waste recovery. So how on earth did that happen? How did they pull off this incredible transformation? Well, the answer is this fascinating mix of smart policy, a unique culture, and, yeah, a little bit of public shaming.
Okay, let's start with something you'd notice right away if you were there. If you visit a big city like Taipei, you'll see something is missing, something you'd expect to see on pretty much any city street in the world.
That's right. Imagine this. You just finished a snack, and you're walking around with the empty wrapper looking for a bin. You're going to be looking for a long, long time. Public trash cans? They're basically non-existent.
Now, this wasn't some kind of accident or budget cut. Nope. This was a deliberate decision. The city actually removed thousands of public bins years ago. It sounds totally backward, right? To fight a trash problem, you get rid of the trash cans. But believe it or not, this is the absolute key to their entire strategy.
The whole reason there are no public bins is because in Taiwan, your trash is your responsibility. And maybe even more importantly, it's your bill. The entire system is built on this pay-as-you-throw idea. It's simple. If you create waste that can't be recycled, you have to buy special government-approved bags to throw it out. So the more trash you make, the more you pay. It directly connects your wallet to your waste basket, making everyone think twice about what they throw away. And this policy creates this amazing daily ritual. 5 days a week, these iconic garbage trucks roll through the neighborhoods. And to announce their arrival, they often play classical music. It's wild. So people come out of their homes, they've got their recyclables all sorted, their general trash in those special prepaid bags, and they hand it all over directly. It's totally communal, totally out in the open. Which means, yeah, your neighbors can definitely see how much you're recycling and how much you're not. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. There's a lot of social pressure. You can't just sneak your extra trash into a public bin to save a few bucks because there are no public bins. It creates this really intense culture that puts the responsibility squarely on you, the individual. But, making citizens responsible is only one side of the coin. Behind the scenes, there's an even more brilliant system that makes the whole thing work financially. It makes it profitable and stable. This is the real game changer, what truly sets Taiwan apart. They set up a national centralized fund that's just for managing recycling. Think of it as the economic engine that makes sure the whole system doesn't just survive, but actually thrives. And this chart shows you exactly why that's so important. See, in most places, recycling is a really tough business. It's totally dependent on the crazy, fluctuating global prices for stuff like plastic. If prices crash, recycling companies can go broke. But in Taiwan, that fund provides subsidies. It guarantees that recyclers get paid a stable price. This turns recycling from a risky gamble into a reliable, profitable industry. So, where is all this money coming from? Well, it comes directly from the companies that are making and importing all the plastic in the first place. This is what's called extended producer responsibility. It basically makes manufacturers financially accountable for what happens to their products right from the get-go. So with this super solid financial foundation, Taiwan is now taking things to the next level. They're pushing the boundaries even further with some pretty cool tech. Welcome to the future of sorting people. At some of their facilities, you've got AI-powered robot arms doing the dirty work, just sifting through piles of recyclables at insane speeds. Each one of these arms can spot and sort 55 pieces of garbage every single minute. But, technology isn't perfect. As fast as these robots are, they're just not as nimble or as smart as human hands. They get confused by things that are tangled up or have weird shapes. So for now, that final, crucial sorting and quality check, it still comes down to real people.
And the results of this human-robot team-up is pretty remarkable. At these advanced facilities, something like 95% of the material that comes in the door gets successfully processed. It gets cleaned, chopped up, and melted down into these little plastic pellets, all ready to be sold and get a second life as a new product.
So it sounds like a nearly perfect system, doesn't it? Well, some critics would say, hold on a minute. They argue there's a major catch, and that those amazing recycling stats might not be telling the whole story. This quote from Arthur Huang, who's a CEO in Taiwan's waste conversion industry, is, wow, it's really provocative. What he's suggesting is that for a lot of plastic, the word recycling just means it's collected separately before it gets taken to be burned. So what kind of stuff are we talking about here? It's the really tricky material. The flimsy, low-quality plastics, thin plastic bags, snack wrappers, the plastic on your straws. The quality's just too low, and it's too hard to sort and clean. So it has basically zero value on the recycling market. Its final destination, the incinerator. And when you look at the numbers, you can see that burning trash, incineration, plays a massive role in how Taiwan deals with its waste. In fact, the country has one of the highest densities of waste incinerators anywhere on Earth. So while the recycling rates are really high, so is the rate of burning trash to create energy. Which leaves us with a really critical question to chew on. Is Taiwan's system, with its intense culture, its producer-funded model, and all that advanced tech, is it the true future of recycling, or is it just a highly efficient, very socially organized system for sorting out what gets reused from what ultimately just goes up in smoke? It's a tough one to answer.